I'm Margaret McPhee and I'm the Equality and Diversity Advisor at Teesside University. Well, generally, discrimination means being treated differently because of a protected characteristic. In this case, it's through being a woman. But to be more specific, there are very different types of discrimination. For example, direct discrimination is the obvious one, where you maybe refused a job because you are a woman, which obviously is illegal. But there's also more insidious types of discrimination, such as indirect discrimination, where everyone is treated the same, but that treatment might impact on a particular group, such as women. For example, if promotion is dependent upon length of continuous service, which might disadvantage women who've been on maternity leave or career breaks and so on. There's also harassment, which is unwanted conduct, and victimisation, where somebody is treated differently because they have complained about another form of discrimination. Well, there's been lots and lots of legislation which has culminated in the Equality Act, which came in 2010, which brought together lots of other different types of legislation under one umbrella. And a lot of that discrimination has made it illegal to treat women differently, particularly in the workplace. But I think also attitudes in general have changed to women. You only have to look at programmes like Life on Mars to see how women were treated differently, and that they were given different jobs to do completely to the jobs that men did, and that is no longer the case. I think you shouldn't ignore it. You should definitely do something about it. I think quite often, particularly women, you tend to keep quiet about things and think, oh, it'll go away. But usually if you don't deal with something straight away, it gets worse, and it's much easier to tackle things as soon as they happen. So this might be something like just having a quiet word with somebody if you feel as though you've been uncomfortable with the way that you've been treated. Or it might be if it's serious enough to raise a formal complaint. But definitely what you permit, you promote. So, don't sit back, do something about it. If it's making you feel uncomfortable, then you need to tackle it. I don't think you can avoid it altogether. I think it is a good idea to deal with people professionally and to dress professionally in the workplace, because you don't want to promote the wrong image. If you want to be taken seriously, you need to dress and behave appropriately in the workplace. But I think it's really, with women, it's just to be good at your job, to be able to prove that you can do the job that you've been given. And to be professional in the way that you behave. I think it can be very different because we have something called the public sector duties, which it's a piece of legislation that is only appropriate to the public sector, such as education, like universities, civil service, local government, the police force, that type of thing, which has more stringent rules about what you do in relation to equality and diversity. But in the private sector, they often see equality as being much less important,